So, Carol, we went on holiday. Carol fainted on the luggage carousel at the airport. I think she's okay. She's coming round slowly. An Indian restaurant that my friend works at is so secretive, he had to sign a legal agreement just so he wouldn't leak their famous flatbread recipe. It was a standard non-disclosure agreement.
Oh, dear God.
Funny enough, speaking of food, Germany is now advising people to stock up on cheese and sausages. It's called the worst case scenario.
Oh.
Think about it. But just so you know, I mean, they did say masturbation with a dead arm is better. Apparently, however, it does ruin a funeral. And finally, I'm pretty pleased with my first day as Donald Trump's top national security advisor. But I did have to get put on the phone. I did get on the phone to the Fruit Machine Addiction Helpline. I was on there for ages. First, they put me on hold, then nudge. Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to the Black Dog Podcast, episode 212. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I'm Jim.
I'm Elton.
And this week we will see how everyone's week's been, except mine because I've been doing nothing. And then we will have some feedback, if there is any, and also asking for trouble, which I did put a call out, and people did answer. We have questions. We have questions which we must answer and bestow our knowledge to the world, I guess. Anyway, and then after that, we will be reviewing a film, which is your choice, Elton, which was?
Possessor.
Yes, Possessor. That wonderful little children's film. Fun for all the family.
Lovely little novel thing, isn't it?
Lovely. Yes, but before we get to that, yes, I'll say no more about that. Before we get to that, let's see how everyone's week's been. And we'll start with that. So, you, Jim, so how's it been, sir?
A bit of a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
We decided, because currently I'm having a rather fun bit of downtime without an endless stream of doctors and hospital appointments. Yeah. And they are due to start again this week.
Okay.
But so we thought, all right, well, the weather sort of started picking up last week. So I thought, right, let's sod it. Let's just go find a cottage, go away somewhere. And so we found a lovely little cottage, only 25 minutes away. Yep, that'll do nicely. North Yorkshire, lovely part of the world. Lots to go and do and see that we've not done yet. So we set off Friday afternoon, blazing sunshine. Oh, it's going to be great. By the time we got there, it clouded over. Yeah. And it stayed clouded over until we were leaving Monday morning. Bastard weather. But that was the start of it. Saturday was like random showers all day, which kind of hampered our plans a bit. But it's sort of all right. It's not raining yet, so right. We find there's a big nature reserve quite nearby called Foxglove Covert. Yeah. Now the name should have tipped me off a bit here, but we thought, we'll go out there, have a walk around, see where the dog can go, and we just have just a nice little day out until it rains, so we can come home. It was free. It's free to get, just pay for parking, so that that's okay. We'll do that. Yeah, because there is a big stately home we'd be meaning to go to, but that's where they were shitty. We thought, we're not going to go there because you have to pay to it's like a tenner to get in. It's kind of it pisses down. That's money wasted. Yeah. So we set off with this place not far away, and actually it's in. You have to go through the town of Catterick, which is Catterick Garrison, which is a military town.
Oh, I've been there.
Okay.
I spent an evening there once. That was interesting. Yes, to say the least.
I mean, half the town is military buildings, all with big security fences with razor wire on the top. Right. Which is weird. And so we're driving along, and it's, your destination is half a mile away. Oh, brilliant. And we we turn a corner, and there's a military checkpoint in the road. And two was going, you can't come through without a pass. And it's kind of,
shit.
this is a public road. He said, well, no, you know what I mean? It's kind of, we go to the nature reserve and said, oh no, you can't go there today. The gate's broken.
Of course it is.
And I was going, what do you mean the gate's broken?
Did you say it like that,
got
Jim,
on it?
to two blokes with assault rifles? Is that how you said it to them? What do you mean the gate's broken, you fucking idiot? Did you, Jim? Did you?
I didn't know. It was more occurred to me later. It was kind of like, you're the fucking military. You've got tanks. You've got an engineering corps. What do you mean the gate's broken? What bullshit is
the
this?
red dots converge on Jim's forehead.
So anyway, I thought, all right, change your plan. We had a quick look and thought, there's like a community sort of woodland sort of dog walky place nearby called Bramble Woods. And we thought, that sounds nice. It wasn't far away, so make the best of it. And so we set off there, and we got to this sort of wood. We found somewhere to park and get into it. And honestly, I have never been to a gruntier bit of woodland in all my life. It's just full of litter. There's mysterious holes being dug in the paths for no reason. There's people like piled up like twigs and branches around the back, around the trunks of trees to try and set the trees on fire.
Jesus fucking Christ, Jim! Are you in that film with Michael Fassbender with the scallies? Was it Daily Mail Island or whatever it is?
I was going to say, didn't meet some bloke called Lord Summerisle while you were there, did you, by any chance? No.
Oh, that'd have been classy compared to this. It was, the dog loved it. I mean, she's somewhere new. She needs to sniff, but we would feel good. How would you make woodland this unattractive? I mean, well done, Catterick. And all of Catterick is, frankly, a shithole.
Yes,
as we discovered. It's a frightening shit.
Right.
It's obviously the word. Honestly, I couldn't believe it. You even screwed up a bit of woodland to walks through it. How did you manage this?
Jesus.
And there's a bit with like a children's play park, which was kind of like, they made like a little tree house and some swings off branches, and then someone's very thoughtfully just dumped a load of wooden pallets and smashed them up over there. And what the fuck is going on? Let's get out of here, go home.
Yeah.
So it was a bit like, oh my God, what have we done? This stage isn't going well. We got home and then the toilet blocked. Thankfully, it was a quick fix. At least we were sat there and there was glug, 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 glug. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And then half an hour later, Kadri said, is it me? Is that water level higher than it should be in the toilet? Oh God, look. Ring the people who own the cottage. Thankfully, it was just the outside drain and got a bit clogged up. He just literally moved some, gave it a poke and it cleared, and that was it. Without having to call a plumber, but it's like, Jesus Christ. It was just like leaves and moss in it, apparently. Because it's a country cottage, it's not into a sewer system. It goes into like a tank
septic
somewhere.
tank.
Yeah, and it was the rainwater bit that feeds into it got clogged, which caused a blow. That was a quick fix anyway. But yeah, it was kind of like, oh my God, this is a complete fucking disaster of a trip. Thankfully, Sunday turned out to be better. The weather wasn't much better, but it was overcast but dry. And we went out to see a local beauty and nature attraction, Harmsby Waterfall, which is quite a nice, lovely walk through a big wood and a ravine and this very impressive waterfall. That was nice.
Yeah.
And then we went to Middleham Castle, which is just outside of the village called Leyburn, and that is amazing. It's one of the best preserved castle ruins I've been to. And I've been to a few, but it's really good. It used to belong to Richard III, and that was a really good walk around. I mean, we like going to historic sites, but this castle was like, bloody hell, this has got tons of features still there that haven't fallen down or been nicked by local farmers for dry stone walling. But that's very worth it. If you want to see a really good castle, that is an excellent one.
Yeah.
And then we went home. We got a takeout pizza, which was amazing, and we watched Heretic.
Oh, nice! Just to cheer you right up.
As that come, it was that's on Amazon Prime to rent. We thought, fuck it, let's do it. Let's rent it. And that was we thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah,
there's a lot about us, maybe, but yes, but
nice.
So played 2, lost 1, won 1, came home Monday in a good mood.
So from here on in, are we to declare that anything that's just genuinely shit is a bit of a Catterick?
We could do, actually. That'd be well deserved.
What is that on the Catrick scale? Is it a 4 or a 5? A 3.5?
Is it the local pub or a Dingley Dale Glade? I mean, where are we on this? Where are we? Wow. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't find. I'm surprised the whole gate thing with the military. I mean, is that not just code for we're running manoeuvres or Project X's escape?
Possibly running Project X's escape. Oh, the other thing I forgot is like Saturday night, the dog wanted to go out, and she went out, and I was like, God, bloody hell! Because where we were, it's kind of there's like 4 cottages. There is like converted like a big old stable building. And it's been split into 4 like holiday homes, country cottages, still all very nice wooden beams and stuff. I went outside the door, like, oh, someone's cooking kippers. It smells really fishy.
Oh no!
You know, the dog came back in because it started to rain. Then later on, she wanted to go out again, and the cottage had like a little back garden and like a French door into it. And so I said, "Oh, well, you want to go out again? But I know you don't want to go out because it's raining. You're not a daft dog. But look, a little bit of gardening. You just go do your business there and come in." And we opened the door and it's like, Jesus, the stench of rotting fish. Because clearly some farmer had been putting silage on the field, literally the other side of the cottage. So literally from Saturday night, literally until Monday morning, every time you open the door, you got hit by the stench of rotting fish. It's kind of like, oh, for fog's sake.
a nice relaxing evening out. Yeah. Oh, wow. Nice.
I mean, we did say had a, you know, got out and away from the stench, and I had a fun day out on Sunday. But it was just kind of like, fucking hell, this is turning into a holiday from hell. I'll need another holiday after this just to recover at this rate.
Nice.
But yeah, it turned out good in the end. But it's like, fucking hell.
But you wouldn't recommend Catrick, basically.
I'd recommend avoiding Catrick at all costs.
So,
there's a reason Vic and Bob set a very strange comedy series there. It was all full of weirdos. Frankly, they were being nice about it, I'll be honest.
Yeah, they had plans to drive through it, so they didn't want to annoy anyone. Yeah, nice. Right. Okay, well, there you go. Travel tips from the Black Dog there. Jim, thank you very much for that.
My pleasure.
Brilliant. Well, then we'll move on to you then, Elton. How's your week been, sir?
It was fine, thank you very much. I took a family trip to Greenwich.
Oh, yes.
This Saturday? Yeah, Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And the plan was me to drive down, and then me, my mum and my brother to get a train to Greenwich to meet the others, basically. And I'm not very good at traveling anymore. I can't do it. One, I've got a bad sense of direction, a horrible, hideous sense of direction.
We have it on record, mate. Don't worry, it's cool.
Number 2, trains don't like me. We've got that on record as well.
Yes, we do have that on record as well. Yeah.
Number 3, when Heathrow Airport shuts down for the weekend, and you think one of the people that is supposed to be meeting you there is in a different country, and you have a little bit of a heart attack because that's the whole reason for you to be going there. And so, that makes me not want to fly ever again. So thanks for that, because that would just give me heart palpitations again. So getting from Welling to Greenwich should be a piece of piss.
It literally is driving up Shooters Hill, coming down the other side, and then turning left when you hit the river. That's it.
That's it.
I mean, you can walk it in 15 minutes.
I reckon I could walk it, yeah. I think I have walked it a number of times.
Yes.
But, so, my mum wanted to go on the train, and we were happy to do that because I think last time we went to Greenwich, me and her used the train, and it was, you know what, it was a fun experience. And what we did, we went from Welling to Lewisham, changed for the DLR, and then went to Greenwich. Piece of piss. It was brilliant. It's like, oh wow, shouldn't it always be like this? This is how it should be. It works.
Yeah.
This time though, oh no. The DLR's closed, isn't it?
Right.
What, the robots have gone on strike? Is that what happened?
The DLR was
they're
closed.
fucking robot trains, for fuck's sake.
I know. And yet, there it was, not working for us.
Nice.
Of
This
course.
is a very British robot uprising. This really
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was like, oh, flipping hell. You know, the only day it's easier to drive. Unfortunately, our infrastructure in this country, sorry to moan about this, but
That's all right.
the infrastructure in our country is so shonky that it is just easier to drive. And so then they tax you even more for driving. And then it's just so unfair. They
Yes.
offer a piss poor service and then charge you other ways to get in because you won't use their piss poor service, and then they'll sit down and look down their nose at you going, why won't you use our piss poor service? We are providing this and you shall be lucky for having this. It's like ridiculous. So the train we had to get went the opposite direction.
Okay.
From Welling to Slade Green, round to Erith, Abbey Wood, and then all the way back to Greenwich, which is fine. And I think it's like it's definitely
Twice the length of fucking London by the sound of it.
It's out to the 25 and back again. And it's twice the distance that we needed to do if we were doing Lewisham and then DLR. And it's twice the time as well. And so we get to Welling Station, we jump on the train. Well, we're looking at the board because I'm just all of a kerfuffle right now. And looking at the board, okay, right, there's our train. It's going to Slade Green, and we stay on that all the way to Greenwich. Brilliant.
Right.
And then we get on the train, and it says, we're just trundling along, and then it says, all of a sudden, this train terminates at Woolwich Arsenal. It's like, for fuck's sake.
Fucking love it when they do
For
that.
fuck's sake. Why? This is why I stay in my little room. This is why I stay here. The world can't hurt me in here. Or tried not to hurt me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trundling along, and I'm like flipping out. Like, I'm a grown adult. I should be able to deal with this stuff. I can't do it anymore. I really can't do it anymore. I hate it. And so we're getting closer and closer to Woolwich Arsenal. We're like, please change. Something's got to change. And it stopped at, I think, the Docklands before, or one of the stops before it.
Right.
And then the electronic board said, out of service. It's like, oh no. Why is the train I'm on now out of service? But nobody was doing anything. I think they had a driver change.
Right.
that
And then
whole excuse.
yeah. Then it did take us straight to Greenwich.
Right.
But the amount of very, very tiny, really, really tiny, the smallest ones you can have, heart attacks I had all the way there were just an incredible amount. And there's no need for that.
Well, no, not really, if I'm honest. No. I just think you've been cursed forever with trains.
Yeah. Yeah, the last time I wanted to use the trains, and I couldn't go to that gig because they'd done screwed up and stuff like that. And yeah, whenever you guys had to hold my hand and go, right, you need to get onto this train and then go to there and then you'll be fine. Because I'm useless. I can't do it anymore. I really can't.
We did literally have to walk you to Waterloo East.
And point me in the right direction.
And put you on the right train.
It kind of pushed me onto the train. So, is this the right? Yes, this is the right one. It's fine.
And as the doors closed, he went, no, they're not. No, it's not. Laters. Yeah.
Actually, motherfucker, it's faster, Margate.
Indeed.
See you in
Clacton.
enjoy Paris, motherfucker.
You ever been to Seven Oaks? No. Well, that's about to change.
Give my regard to Broadstairs.
Fucking Paul McCartney. Yeah. Right. So have you now elected to never ever use public transport ever again?
Well, we got there. We had a lovely time there. Had like I think we had our meal in Gypsy Moth. I think it was
Very nice.
which is awesome. Love that place.
Yep.
I don't think I went in there enough. In fact, I think that's where we agreed that I would join the Black Dog, wasn't it?
Yes,
In the Gypsy Moth.
it was.
I got offered the place.
You did. You did.
Got the black spot of Bly Pew. Arr.
Yeah. It was either that or get on that tea clipper that was out in the dry.
That's true,
Yeah. So
so we had a nice meal there, had a little walk around as well. And then my son ordered us an Uber. Said, no, you're not getting on the train anymore. You're just Ubering it. And so we got an Uber home. So that was nice of him to pay for that.
yeah. Well, you had been hyperventilating for the last 20 minutes into your pint.
Yeah.
So
It's disturbing. Sort of Elton walking around Greenwich with a paper bag on his face. Just pulling it out.
I've got to get on the train. I've got to get on the train. I can't do it again. I can't go on the train. You can't make me. like fucking B.A. Baracus.
I
Ain't
get on
going
the
on
train.
motherfucker.
Just shut up and drink this drugged pint of milk. Oh yeah. What am I doing in Welling again? Yeah. Okay.
So
well,
trains hate me. I don't know why.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, never mind. I mean, you will have to take them again. I'm sorry to say.
I know, and they'll fuck up again. You know it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they will.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry.
But
This is a man who ended up at a ghost station not so long ago.
Yeah. I mean, fair point. Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, you're doomed, Elton. You know.
Yes.
I won't try and sugar the pill. Jim's just brought me down to earth. Yeah. Right. Okay. Anything else, sir?
I'm trying to think. No, I think that is it. I think I'll leave it there for now.
Okie dokie. Well, then we're over to Darren. How are you, sir?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Started the week off. I got myself an Aldi Humpty Dumpty. Yeah, it was great.
Hey.
It came with an Aldi Humpty Dumpty. But it's
Is this the car maker Aldi or the
Aldi or
the
Aldi?
supermarket?
We'll say Aldi. Okay, so an Aldi Humpty Dumpty. It was great. It came with also Aldi King's horses and Aldi King's men. Thank you very much. Good night. Taxi.
Get out. Hold on.
Sorry, Darren, I nearly ruined that.
That's all right. It's I fought through. We got there in the end. It was a long journey, but there you go.
It was a long walk up that path.
Yeah, long way round that. Long way round. Yes, long way round.
Okay.
So So apart from that, that gift hunting trip, today got a little bit political. I won't go into it too much because this is not a political podcast, but so I went out to a little bit of a protest because we're having a bit of a welfare cuts thing going on here in the UK, for those who don't know, outside of the UK. And it was a bit of a protest about that. And the fact that, so you're taking the money from all these people who really can't afford it. But, hey, look over there. There's a bunch of rich bastards over there you could tax. Why don't you try doing something over there?
Yes.
So that was basically the gist of it. And, some quite depressing facts brought to light, and but there's a glimmer of hope. There's a glimmer of hope. Yes, it is. Just got to keep trying. Yes, join together. Yep.
Yes.
There's slowly more of us than there is of them. Oh God, is there?
There's always been more of us than there is of them.
No, I mean slowly being affected by all this shit that's happening at the moment. So quite depressing. I had to go off and watch some light comedy after that. So
if anybody wants me, I'll be in the Angry Dome.
Indeed. So I will be. But apart from all that and just doing adulting stuff, just a couple of things this week, actually. Today, I watched the first episode of a show on Disney called Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Oh, and what do you think of that?
I really fucking enjoyed it. I really thought it was good. I like the fact that even though there is an origin story in it for Spider-Man, it doesn't go the same way as all the other tellings of it. It's not. It's still kind of bitten by a spider, but not in the same way that all the other tellings bring it forward. It's always, oh, I've gone to a lab, I've been bitten by a spider. Ow, I'm Spider-Man. This has got a little bit of a different angle to it. And one of the great things about this show is he's not got the proper spider suit to begin with.
No,
he's because it jumps 7 months after the event, around about that, where he gets bitten, and I just love the outfit and the little touches they've got to it, especially the web slingers, the actual web shooters that are sort of like they've got like a gas powered to them. He's got like tanks on his back that he turns the nozzle on and they fill up the air, and that's what powers the actual thread firing out of the shooters, which is really, really cool because it's this is, of course, it's him just getting started. And I just like all the characters that he's got with him and everything, you know? And they're nice short episodes. And it's like by the end of the first one, I'm like, I'm fucking sold. That's it. So I will be watching more of that one. So that's good. It's nice to see a piece of Marvel, TV that's actually pretty good. You know, we haven't had that for a while.
No.
So there was that. And the other thing, game I got for very cheap. In fact, literally for nothing, because I got was it 203 CD keys coins.
Oh right.
They were doing a special on St. Patrick's Day, and they gave away 200 coins for. They said, like, you got a limited amount of time to spend these 200 coins, and every one coin is worth a penny, so it's £2.
Oh wow!
Don't blow
it all at once.
That's fine on CD keys. It's like GOG. You can literally do a fucking trolley dash around it with a tenner and come out with a basket full of games. You know. So I bought one called Surround Dead, as in surrounded, but with dead on the end of it. And it is a post-apocalyptic survival game. It's a zombie game, but it's still in the early stages of. I'm pretty sure it's still in the early stages of being done. But they've had an awful lot of updates to it with different stuff that they keep adding to it. Now, with some. Quite a lot of the zombie shooters you see out there, it's mainly you against the zombies fighting those things off.
Yeah.
But with this, you get other sort of things thrown into the mix as well, like wild animals, everything from deer and foxes to fucking bears, right?
I don't know.
Not zombified ones, just actual proper.
You survive a zombie apocalypse only to be run over by a deer.
Yeah. Yeah, run over by a deer. Well, that's it. They chase the deer, so it's quite. You could get hit by a deer.
Right.
There was one building I was in, and I could hear this growling outside. It was like, "Oh, hello, we got some zombies. Yep, that's fine. I'll go out there and I'll deal with them. I've got my fucking fire axe ready to go."
Right.
And I stepped out there, and this fucking grizzly bear came charging him. I was like, "Help me! Help me!"
Oh Jesus! Jesus, help me! Yeah.
So I had to quickly switch to the AR-15 and fucking I filled it with a clip full of bullets before the fucking thing went down on its knees. So that's it, dead.
Okay.
Gone. But they keep adding stuff to it. We've also got you've got raiders you have to fight off as well. So it's normal humans. They've got evil scavengers that go around and in groups that you have to deal with.
Yeah.
But if you've got a vehicle, you can you can either shoot them, take them on normally, which is a bit risky, or you can just run over them in your fucking van. So, which is a lot more satisfying, I've got to say. And you run them over and you reverse over them, and because you've got to make sure they're dead, even
of
though
course
they are from getting hit first,
Yeah.
Not many people survive a face full of van going at 60 miles an hour. So
No.
So it's pretty good. As I say, it's still in its early stages. They're still providing stuff for it. They're doing more and more as they go on. Apparently, the game is totally different looking in every aspect, considering what it was like when it first opened up.
Right.
So it's still
Just see
improving.
how that goes.
Still improving. It's
Cool.
how can I say? It's a bit like if anybody's heard of Rust. It's a bit like that, but without the fucking arseholes involved. It's not multiplayer. It's just you, but it's got aspects of it. It's got an economy within the game, that kind of thing, and just about any house you find along the way is usable for you. You can set up a base in there, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So that was only about £2.
Okay.
So pretty good. Really, really enjoying it so far.
Right. So far, so good.
So far, so good, as you say.
Right. Cool.
But apart from that, I don't think I've done.
Okie
I
dokie.
haven't been to the cinema in the last couple of weeks, but I will be going this week. To see Novocaine.
Okay.
Which
cool.
looks pretty good.
Excellent. Okie
There you
dokie.
go.
Right. Brilliant. I don't really have much this week to talk about. I went down to see went down to meet Katie's new boyfriend on Saturday.
Oh,
which
right.
Is always an interesting thing when you go down to meet someone you've never met before, and they're kind of like, "Hello, Mr. McGough."
Have you seen Bad Boys 2? Have you seen Bad Boys 2? Yes. Did you need me to come down and play the Will Smith part?
No.
You're the Martin Lawrence. I'll be in the Will Smith part. I'm sure I can get a loaded gun.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. do the clueless one. Yeah, I've got a gun and a shovel, and I doubt anyone will miss you. Yeah. No, I to be quite honest, he's a nice guy. He's a nice kid, and he does applied mathematics, so he's quite clever as well. Yeah, so that's handy. Doing that purely for the cash, apparently, because you earn a lot of money in applied mathematics.
Right. He's got the smarts as well. Excellent.
Yeah, that's good. So he can lend me a $5 once he gets out of uni. Yeah, so we met them, went for dinner. That was cool. Nothing much more to expand upon there, but there was one little thing. It's only a passing thing, but it did make me laugh.
Is it the drug use?
No, yeah, absolutely.
Are we still talking about him, or we?
No.
Okay,
Right, just in general.
Okay.
Just in general. It's just one of those misspeaking moments. Just double checking around the room. Yep, okay, I'm safe. So basically, we're driving down in the car on the way down there, and Carol had been babysitting for a friend, and they've got 2 young kids. And so Carol's like, they were all pretty cool. The kids went to bed on time and all this sort of thing. And I impressed the young boy by, knowing the superheroes on his poster, because he's got a poster. I'm like, right, okay, that's cool.
That'll win him round.
Yeah, no. Apparently, he's quite young, so it's all still quite fresh. He's not jaded by the ways of Marvel and DC in the way we are. And so he's got this poster, which is like the old 1930s building, when with the builders over New York, where they're all sitting on the scaffolding.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes,
yeah. And basically they're all different superheroes. So Carol's going, oh look, there's Thor and there's Iron Man, and that's Superman and Batman, because it was mixing them all up. And I'm like, oh right. So she goes, yeah. So geeky knowledge. I was on point. I impressed the kid, so he went to bed all nice and early and all cool. I went, oh right. And so Superman was there, and she goes, yeah. I think there was some DC and Marvel ones, because they even had that other guy. I couldn't name him, and I was like, what do you mean? She goes, the fastest man alive. And I went, the fastest man alive? She goes, yeah, Barry White.
I never take anything for granted.
In case you don't know it,
for a lady.
Just to explain it, Elton, Barry Allen is the Flash.
Okay.
Barry Allen is the Flash, but Carol misspoke and called him Barry White. So there's the war of
Barry
White is the Flash. Walrus of Love doing light speed in a red spandex costume.
Christ,
Not...
the fucking drag factor behind that must have... Crikey.
Yeah, so I had something of a chortle. So that was to that
Barry
kind
White.
of Barry White, the fastest man alive. There you go. That'll give that'll give Martin Thompson something to put on the Facebook group, wouldn't it? See if you can find Barry White as the Flash. Yeah, but otherwise, it's been pretty quiet kind of week, really. So not a lot to report, I'm afraid. Just been doing some drawing, doing a bit of sketching, that kind of thing. Nothing too fancy. So we'll leave it there. Right. So what we will do, though, is we will see if there is any questions for us to answer.
There are more questions than answers.
Indeed. So here we are asking for trouble. And as ever, if you want to send a question in for us to answer, just send it in through the normal channels. Go onto the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/the Black Dog Podcast, or you can email them in to feedback@blackdogpodcast, or you can hit me up on Blue Sky, which is cartoonbeardy.bsky.social. Anyway, we'll start with the first question that we got in. And it is first question is from Jeffrey Mark Hyman, and here he goes. He says, "How do you know if you're in love?" The silence is deafening from all four of us.
I was going to say the blood started rushing to a certain point.
He started looking like Andrew Riseborough. Anyway,
Your tummy stick gets bigger.
No. Tummy sticks. We're not having that again. No.
On to the review.
No. Anyone got anything they'd like to add? Anything they'd like to embellish? Because I mean, this is our first question for a second round of questions. So
Okay, good.
Go on.
You know when you're in love is when your prospective other half has been to stay with you and they go home and you're not relieved to be free of a house guest.
That's very true. That's very true.
That's when you know you got the right one. When you actually miss them when they go home again. Not, thank God I've got my house back. It's normally the way with any sort of guests, no matter how close they are as friends or family.
Mm-hmm.
Having a house guest is fun for a bit, then it's kind of, will you fuck off?
Yeah. At some point, you just give me my fucking life back for 5 minutes. Yeah. No, okay.
That's how you know. That's how you know.
That is how you know. That is a good one. Yeah.
For me and Teresa, it was when I said, do you want to watch Extra 2? And she didn't give me the sensible answer. A normal person would be like, fuck off. And, what's Extra 2?
So love is watching Extra 2. Is that what we've come down to? Is that the boiled down answer?
Not screaming, "Hey, Xbox time!" as soon as the door shuts.
Yeah. Pop. Way. Okay. I'll put down that as answered. I mean, I would. Yeah, go on.
Hey? No, I was going to say, I think you get an inkling that you're in love when your other half rolls her eyes at you, and then you pick them up and roll them back again.
I'm not going to do the yeah. That's too loud. Yeah, I think when you find that for all your differences, it doesn't matter. And I say that as a person who's highly opinionated and highly cynical about everything. And, as I think Murray the Pie Man Christensen said when I said I was going down to see Katie's boyfriend, it was like, if he mentions the Fifth Element, he's been primed. He's been primed. Don't mention the Fifth Element. And it's like, yeah, but you sit there and like anyone else does that, I'd be like, oh, fucking no. But if Carol brings it up, it's just like, yeah, okay, let's discuss it. Let's talk. I'm not going to leap across the desk and throttle you. Yeah, the ability to understand each other and to know that that you've got a bit of give and take, and just you're in love with, you're more tolerant, you're more understanding, and you miss their opinions even if they're different from yours. I think that's an interesting one. There you go. Philosophical. Plus, if they nosh on your knob for an hour, it's good. Anyway, I had to bring it down. I had to bring the tone down. No, it's fine. It's fine. I was take the first question, the first answer, not the second. I was just joking. Yeah. In fact, if they don't laugh at your jokes and you don't mind, that's another one.
Yeah.
You got anyone else?
I think you're both in love when the casual farting starts.
Yes.
And nobody runs. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, when the toilet door is no longer locked.
Oh no! Not that. Not the sitting on the toilet face. No, no. Nobody needs to see that. No.
Yeah, when you're having a shower and then all of a sudden you can hear the toilet flush, and he's like, "Hang on, I thought I was the only one in the shower here." And then you hear someone shout, "Don't come out for at least 5 minutes."
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't switch on the light.
Elton, you got anything to add?
No.
Fair enough.
Let's just move on.
Okay. We got another question here. We got Sean Gleason. If you were invited to be a contestant on Taskmaster and you were given the choice of the other 4 seats, who would you choose? Who would you be up against?
Oh,
basically.
I don't watch that.
Well, basically, just imagine that you're got 5 seats in a row, and you're playing parlor games, which are basically logic problems.
Right.
So how do you can you use anything in this house to weigh the same as a box of potatoes?
Mm-hmm.
It's that kind of thing. So it has to be funny because people will try the craziest things, but it also has to be you clever enough to do it.
Right.
So you got 4 other people to be up against. Who would you basically play off against? I would play off against people who were absolute idiots. So, guys, you want to... do you fancy being on Taskmaster with me?
I will destroy you.
I will destroy you. Anyone? We got anything here? I mean, I would pick people who had, yeah. I don't know if you have to go for people who are funny. What would you do? Funny people, or would you go for?
No.
It's all comedians on Taskmaster. So is it what other comedians we want to go up against?
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Because I'd sort of go probably Bob Mortimer, Noel Fielding, and then the two Sarahs, Pascoe and Milliken. That came out wrong.
Yeah. Okay, so okay, yeah. Frame it that way. Name four comedians that you wouldn't mind sharing a stage with, and then by that I mean
as in to beat them.
Yeah,
somebody you wouldn't have a problem with beating.
Yeah, well, or just having fun watching them fail against you, I guess. Or
Bernard Manning, Jim Davidson. Let's see now. Who else? who are the fucking thickest fucking twats in comedy?
Mike Reed.
Let's see. No, not Mike Reed. No, we call we. I don't know. No, it's gone completely. Anybody that used to be on Will Tappers and Shunters, that lot. Any 70s comedian, that's it.
Roy Chubby Brown.
Roy Chubby Brown, there we go.
For me, if it's just what comedians would I have I would go for cynical comedians who are just I'd have Jack D or Frankie Boyle, and then I'd go the other way and go Richard Ayoade and Noel Fielding, because I feel like that's either going to be surreal or deeply, deeply cynical as a lineup, and I'm there for both. I'm there for both. Elton?
I can't think of any comedian's name. I'm not very good at this sort of thing.
No, it's all right. Don't worry, dude. Don't worry. It's okay. We don't have to answer them all. We just have to answer as a group. As a group, that counts as answered. Okay. Well, how long was our timing? Okay, right. Cool. So, Anne-Marie Organ of the broadcast asks, you can kill one person in the UK with no consequences. Who is it and why?
What?
I mean, I think it's a wide range of. This is in no way a confession. Should during the recording of this podcast, that said person die, and that's all I'm going to say.
Wow. I can't possibly say, because then they'll be ready for me.
Well,
how am I supposed to get the job done if they know I'm coming?
Tell them I'm fucking coming. Fuck it. No,
say that again. That one again.
Okay. You can kill one person in the UK with no consequences. Right. Who is it and why?
Okay. Ooh.
Oh well, I'll tell you what. I'll go easy. I'll go Nigel fucking Farage. Because the tedious toady of a human being is going to, at some point in the future, it's like the Dead Zone. I can see it already. At some point, he's going to be the
Greg Stilson.
Yeah, Greg Stilson character, and at some point the people of Clacton will rise up and will be in deep shit because that frog-faced gooner just turns around and goes, oh yes, Donald Trump's really good, even though Donald Trump and Elon Musk have basically been shitting on him from a great height, but like some masochistic fucking turd that he is, as long as he's in the public eye and getting paid, he's quite happy to spout any old racist bollocks he likes. So, yeah, I don't feel like the human race would be a particular loss if he just vanished from the earth. Mm-hmm. So that's my choice. And again, this is in no way a confession. Should he have died in the intervening hours while we were recording this? However, if he did die while we were recording this, know that I would not be particularly sad or posting any pictures of him on my Facebook wall or my Blue Sky wall in memorandum. I would just
this
wouldn't.
Is on a CD now, labelled Evidence A.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
The Black Dog Podcast would like to point out that the views of Lee Metcalf are not necessarily those of the other members of the podcast. Thank you very much.
And we are not offering a John Wick-style assassination service.
No,
either.
we're not. Not at all. Not at all. Allegedly. I mean, no, we're not. No, not at all.
I mean, let's not be too hasty. How much are we talking here?
A fiver and a Twix multi-pack? No.
Done. Throw in an orange club and we're off. We're off to the races.
Oh, just off down the co-op now.
Nice. Go on in. Anyone else want to chuck in on this? If you don't, if you're worried that you may be incriminating yourself, then by all means abstain from the question. We got plenty more.
Well, so this what I mean. She says from the UK. I know the cunt's currently not in the UK. There is a UK citizen still, but it's unlikely to ever come back here. Well, that'll be Andrew Tate.
Oh, good Lord! Yes.
And I'll tell you how you do it. I'd have a big man, two big men, one with a camera,
to the
dome. one just breaking him into pieces on camera, and we put that on the internet going, look at this Uberman. What a cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even
Yeah.
better, fortunately, having a bar, he's having a nice drink. He suddenly falls down, clutching his stomach, vomiting from all orifices because I poisoned his drink and he didn't even see me coming, the chinless fuck.
Yes.
There's a rectal prolapse right in front of everyone. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Alpha
Hemlock
male,
and
now moonbase
belladonna.
alpha.
Very nasty.
Alpha male, now moonbase alpha male.
Which is remind me about something I didn't actually mention earlier on.
Oh, God.
Actually?
Go on.
Something I did done watch.
Mhm.
Sorry, there's been a lot going on today, so it's kind of slipped from my mind. But I watched all 4 episodes of Adolescence.
Oh, cheerful times.
Oh, Jesus Christ Almighty! What a fantastic show! What
Isn't it?
Yes, very much so. Really well acted, really well done. From a technical point of view, it's just one single shot through every single episode, and there's no like suddenly passing a black wall or anything like this.
No.
It's continuous shot. Technically, there is one bit as well where they're doing this one continuous shot, and it gets to a point where suddenly that camera goes up right into the air.
Yeah,
and
they
it's
moved
like
it onto a drone in the mid shot. Yeah.
I was going to say they must have done, because fucking hell, how the hell did they do that? But technical
Anyway.
stuff aside,
Hmm.
so very well acted, really quite deeply affecting. And if there wasn't a better enough advert against people like Andrew Tate, then I don't know what is, really.
Yeah.
Because there are shades of that in there. There's lots of other stuff. There's so many fucking layers that people don't seem to be getting in their reviews.
Yep.
Jesus H. Christ Almighty.
Just don't.
Try watching the thing and not looking at your phone while you're watching the fucking program. How about
That's
that?
irony.
Yeah?
That's irony for you as well, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, there is that. Yeah, but Christ, yeah, it's not for the faint-hearted.
No.
The show, but it is just beautifully put together, very well written, and so well acted.
Right.
If it doesn't win a whole slew of like fucking gritty BAFTAs, I don't know what will, really.
Yeah.
So there we go. Sorry, that's it. I'll
That's
shut
okay.
up now.
Who are you going to kill?
Oh, I'm with Jim. Anyway,
Okay.
Yeah.
Elton?
That's.
Are you having a crisis of conscience, sir, on this question?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I know there's a couple of people I'd like to just remove for a little while, definitely. Maybe not kill, though.
Okay. In the Baldur's Gate game that I did get rid of, there's a thing called banish, and you basically point at someone and you banish them to another realm, and they just can't come back. They're literally trapped in limbo until you let them go. Who in the UK could you just banish to limbo? There you go.
Practically every talk radio host at the moment, they're all doing my bloody head in.
Yeah.
It might not be a popular choice, but fucking James O'Brien. God damn it. God, that fucking smug cunt. Honestly. All the time. And he does that mystery hour, which he thinks is fucking hilarious. It's just fucking stupid people asking stupid questions, and then other stupid people phone in with their stupid fucking answers, all while he's gurning and just being a fucking knob. So yeah, there you go. Not kill though.
No. Okay, so we're gonna Baldur's Gate banish him to another realm.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
God
right.
damn it.
Okay, the next one, and this will be the last one, because this is a bit of an interactive one, okay? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna have to have a jingle for this one. Are you all ready, chaps? Yeah?
I guess so.
Yeah,
right.
go on then.
It says here, from Martin Thompson, fetch a fork from the kitchen, take a photo, post it into the group under the title, My Darling Clementine, fastest one wins. Your time starts now.
Done.
Done. Oh. My fucking phone went tits up as well.
Done.
Oh. God.
Jesus, Lee, you're so cheap. One of these cheap wooden bloody sporks. Look at me, I did a proper metal one.
Yeah, well, the problem was I went to my kitchen drawer, and everything was in the dishwasher. So I had to get whatever was in the drawer. I couldn't do that. Elton,
Hang on. I'm having trouble posting. Hang on a second. I had to travel all the way to the East Wing to do this.
oh dear,
My kitchen is in the East Wing, and so
your kitchen's in the East Wing. Well, I put it on new posts. Jim's at the top, Darren's second, I'm first. Apparently.
What?
I can't spell Clementine. Hang on.
I think you're last, Elton. I think it's safe to say you're last.
I should have got the butler to do this for me.
You should have done. Oh, there's people on the Facebook group going, "What the fuck is going on?" Right, hold on. Let's just.
Did I win?
check.
Do I win £5?
No, that's not a proper fork.
That's a fork.
It's got 3 prongs.
It's a steak fork. It's the best fork out of you lot.
A steak fork. Oh,
Yeah.
look at him. Look at Mr. Lardidar over there,
Exactly.
looking down on my wooden spork.
you you ran into the kitchen, dived into your 3-day-old KFC bag, grabbed a spork, brought it back, took a photo, whereas I trundled down the hallway, down my stairway, into the east wing of my house, grabbed my steak fork, brought it all the way back up, and then took a photo of it.
Your steak fork's only got 3 prongs. It might as well be a tuning fork. I mean, it's it's not a fork. It's just it's a T-Rex claw with pretensions.
Oh, okay, right. Let's have a fucking dig at my forks now, then. Yes, let's do this.
Look,
I can't even get the right forks. No.
I'm jealous because I got a wooden one. I got a wooden one because I couldn't take them out of the dishwasher. Right, Darren's forks says a lot about him as well.
I like that
What
game.
way?
That's cool.
That's good. We'll do that again.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Although it might have been slightly because I think me and Elton had 3 further to go. We both had to do stairs. Cardio at our age.
God. Yeah. I mean, Darren's actually recording in the kitchen, and I'm.
I'm not even. No, well, it's an open plan here, and I just have to reach across to the drawer to pull a fork out. So there you
And
are.
you still came second.
Yeah, whatever. Because I'm all thumbs and everything all over the fucking place.
Oh well,
Couldn't open a fucking chat window to save me life.
I just posted it straight from my phone, but you got an Android, I suppose. There you go.
Oh dear.
Oh God! Look at the violence inherent in the system. Anyway, right? Okay, we'll leave that there. If anybody else would like to leave us any questions in asking for trouble, there are plenty more on there, but they're all from the same person. So I will try and spread them out, let other people have a crack. Post it up on the Facebook group. Go to facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast and just post up a question and we will answer them. Try and make them an actual question as opposed to just statements. like
I like cheese.
Like reboot of Red Dwarf with Muppets. I mean, yes.
Oh, which Muppets would you cast, though? There's the question.
Okay. I would do Fozzie Bear would be Dave Lister.
Mm-hmm.
I would do Beaker as Crichton.
Mm-hmm.
I think, or Dr. Bunsen Burner.
Bunsen Burner. No,
Yeah,
Bunsen, that's it.
I think he would be better Crichton actually. And then you've got
Animal as cat.
Yeah, Animal as cat, and Sam the Eagle as Rimmer. There you go.
Who's Holly?
Who's Holly? Oh, Miss Piggy, of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or Gonzo.
Yes.
No, Grover. As in Super Grover from Sesame Street. Yeah. Or Oscar the Grouch. Because we spread our net far and wide on that one. But yeah, Kermit, the most boring one of the lot, he can fuck off.
Yep.
He can,
No, they're flying around in him because the Starbug was green.
Star Frog.
Yeah, Star Frog. Yeah. There you go. Okay, well, actually, and then I take that back. That was actually a good question, so I'll answer that one as well. Then. There you go. I apologise. There you go. Oh, for fuck's sake. Facebook and its auto fucking replying thing now. There's so many stupid fucking groups. I put answered, put a space, and it's gone, answer the call from Jesus, the group. Like, fuck off.
What I hate is it's kind of the notifications. You post a picture, it says, we're uploading your picture. I've uploaded your picture. Then, you uploaded a picture. I fucking know I did it, you cunt.
Yes.
Don't tell me.
Yeah.
I know I did.
Yeah. What do you know? Yeah, we checked your thing, and it's been checked for music. It may not have music on it. Well, can I listen to it? Yes, you can with the music. Well, then, is there music on it? No. What? Fucking, I hate Facebook so much now. Yes. Anyway, feedback. We did do the film Network last week. We had some feedback on the Facebook group, which was from someone called Teresa Burnside. Have you heard of her before, Jim?
Vaguely.
Right. Okay. Cool. She wanted to know: did any of us spot a very young Lance Henriksen in there?
Yes. Blue suit.
Did, yeah.
Blue suit. Yes. During the media lawyers.
Yes. Yeah.
Martin said, interesting to hear the recommendation for Black Bag. Saw the trailer, thought it looked like an average thriller. Sounds good, though. And I will just like to reiterate that I thought it was a very cool thriller, actually. Old Black Bag, if you get a chance to watch it. It's not going to set the world on fire, but it is a film that they don't make these days much. But, there you go. Ian Spaceship said, we're talking about submarines, red lights. We were talking about red lights, weren't we?
Yes. It was.
Yeah.
Red lights,
he said,
blue lights. There are 3 lights.
There are 4 lights. Ian
Only
said,
cross when the green man's flashing. Oh.
if the green man's flashing, look away, children. Look away. Ian instead said, I thought the red light in a sub was to do with night vision or Roxanne.
Good answer.
Exactly. I thought it was Daredevil getting Mardy. But apparently, he said, puts on submarine suit. I think the point of the red light was to preserve the crew's night vision. Red means that they can still see instruments, and he thinks a rewatch of Das Boot is in order. Yeah, I suppose if it's in red lights and you surface at night, then your eyes doesn't get sort of washed out when you go up on the viewing tower.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't explain why you do it underwater, but there you go. Anyway.
If they can see your lights when you're underwater, you've got more problems than the colour of the lights that you're using.
Including your light leaking out of your enclosed ship. Yeah. So I suspect you might be letting light out and letting water in. But there you go. Anyway, so we'll leave it there. If anybody wants to leave any feedback and leave any questions, you know all the routes. So go do that, and we will get to them next week. Right, we're going to take a break now and roll the jingle. And when we come back, we will be doing Possessor. Would you like to make some fuck Possessor? Deep cut for the Clerks fans in there. Would you like to make some Possessor? Anyway, right, roll the jingle. Right. I'm not doing the right again. After I've become very self-conscious about that.
After we'll swap bodies and stuff.
Yeah. I'm very aware of that now. I'm not doing it anymore. I've got the ump. No. Right. So, Possessor is a 2020 science fiction psychological horror film. Written and directed by Brandon Cronenberg, son of David Cronenberg. And it stars Andrea Riseborough, Christopher Abbott and Rossif Sutherland, Tuppence Middleton, Sean Bean, or is that Sean Bean? Or is that Sean Bourne?
Sean Bain.
Sane Bain. You pick it. Pick a fucking lane, Sean. Does the EA mean something, or does it mean something else? Is it Sheen Bean, or is it Sean Bean, or is it Sean Bourne? Pick a lane. Anyway, and Jennifer Jason Leigh. Riseborough plays an assassin, Voss, who performs her assignments by possessing the bodies of other individuals, but finds herself fighting for the control of her host buddy, played by Christopher Abbott. The film premiered in Sundance 25th of January 2020, and by the time it came out, the entire world had descended into chaos, and it went straight to streaming. So we don't have a lot in the way of the box office and everything, but what did you think, to keep it in the format? What do you think it made at the box office, Darren?
A long dangly scrote.
A long dangly scrote. Jim?
One display case with mounted butterfly, available with and without regrets.
Nice. Elton?
A fox or a badger? A fish or a dog? A mouse or a semi-erect penis?
Why, Andrea, hello. Actually, you're all wrong. It's one copy of Lady Gaga's Poker Face, Poker Face, da ba ba ba.
Oh, good.
And there was my gag. That was the one I was holding back. Give me my Sean Bean's in the poker face. Stick it in my eyeball, baby. Anyway, right. So, as ever, despite my gag giving shit away, we're going to do a non-spoiler zone section round the table quickly to sum up what we thought of it. Elton, this was your pick, so you go last.
Sounds good.
So we'll start with you, Dal. What did you think of Possessor?
Well, I actually like this.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was strange enough that it kind of there were certain aspects of it that I really thought were good.
Mm-hmm.
I like the attention to detail on
Right.
certain things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely got a thumbs up from me.
Cool. Okie dokie. Jim.
I really enjoyed this one. I'm not sure I enjoyed it more than Antiviral and Infinity Pool.
Mm.
But I think kind of his other two movies have like more black comedy in, where this is kind of really just icy cold.
Yes.
But that's not a bad thing. I definitely want to watch it again because I think there's bits I missed, or rather, I think it's a film would repay a second viewing.
Yes.
Once you know where it all ends. But no, I did really, really like it. It was kind of, yeah. I really dig Brandon Cronenberg stuff. He's kind of, picked up where his old man left off. Nice work, son. Nice work.
Yeah, I was going to say, I when I saw it when it came out over lockdown, I actually posted a review on, I think it was Reddit or something like that, and I said, the apple doesn't fall very far from the tree. And I stick to that, to be honest. Stick to that assessment. For me, this is my second watch. It's interesting because I think I should have watched it more than this by now, in the intervening 5 years. But then I kind of got about halfway through, and I thought, yeah, I know why I don't watch this too often. It's quite the strong coffee, I think, is probably the point. But no, overall, I enjoyed it. In fact, I enjoyed it more the second time round because I knew what was coming and what to look out for almost. So I quite enjoyed it. So I enjoyed it more the second time round. And also, it also gives you more. I've had 5 years to mull over some other symbolism, shall we say?
Okay.
Yeah. So I was a bit more ready for it, I think. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. Thumbs up for me. And what about you, Elton? You picked it.
I did, yes. It's my very first time watching it, and I really enjoyed it. But I feel that there was something missing from it as well.
Right.
And I can't quite put my finger on it just yet. Maybe we'll get to that, though. Hopefully.
Okay.
But it was good.
Yeah.
But there was just like a corner missing somewhere, like a missing piece of a jigsaw puzzle.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Was it in relation to any particular character or?
I think there's a lack of development, somewhat.
Right.
With I think like the lady in it,
Voss.
Is it Voss? Yeah, Voss.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, I tell you what. To discuss that further will be a spoiler zone. So we'll leave it. We'll just park that for a second.
Yeah.
So yes. So you've heard our opinions. Possessor, for those of you in the UK, is available on Channel 4, Channel 4 4OD, 4 on demand. It is also available to pay rent on Amazon, I think through Shudder. So if you've got Shudder, you'll be all right. And also through Apple TV for £3, and I think YouTube as well. So yeah, either way, it's gonna be hard pressed to avoid adverts. Is basically it. To the point where, and this is just an aside, last night while watching it, I came up with the game called Pine. Was it? It was something. What did I call it? I called it something like famous pineapple face shocker or something. Oh God, hold on, I'll get to it. Hold on, I can't let it slide because I was very pleased with myself with it. You know when it's pathetic and you just go, why am I so pleased with this?
You made yourself laugh, didn't you?
I did for a good 5 minutes. Hold on. It was called, I came up with the game, and it was called Random Paul's Pineapple Shocker. Where basically, when you see these random streaming adverts, there's always some famous twat sort of jumping up and saying, yes, I bought 3,000 tons of these watches, and I've never looked back since, and all this kind of crap. just randomly pause it and see if you can pause it at the point where it looks like their facial expressions look like they've accidentally sat on an upturned pineapple.
Okay.
Because I tell you what, I managed to succeed with Davina McCall, and I will post it on the Facebook group, but it was an absolute diamond, and I thought, wow, I've got to watch out for this for some more, especially when I'm on YouTube and it starts popping up those obnoxious fucking ads. So, yes, just remember that. Yes, random pause pineapple shocker, and if you find one, post it on the Facebook group, because I think that's a goer. That's a good goer. Just whenever you see an advert, if you see someone, just pause it. See if we can get a face that looks like they've just sat on a pineapple. There you go. Anyway, right, on that note, let's go over to the spoiler zone, and we'll carry on discussing the actual film. Roll the random buttons.
There will now be a short intermission.
Shut up, Wesley. Shut up, Wesley. Shut up, Wesley. Shut up, Wesley.
Course you don't get bloody wafers with it.
Baby, baby. Shut up, Wesley.
Right, so here we are on the other side of the spoiler zone. If you are still listening, just bear in mind that this is going to spoil this film something rotten. And I will say that the less you know, the better you will enjoy this film. Because I think part of the joy of it, if joy could be applied to a film like this, is sort of dissecting it and what it all means. Because that's kind of it. But, you know, if you're still here and it gets spoiled for you, you've only got yourself to blame. That's all I'm saying. So, let's get back to this thing in there. And what were you going to say? You were saying there was something we all liked it.
Yeah.
You thought there was a certain weakness with Voss. So let's start there.
So, the very first time we see the presence of Voss, it's in that lady going to stab the man.
Yes.
And she hesitates in removing herself from the body again. I
Yes.
couldn't work out whether it was her hesitating or the body fighting back. I wasn't too...
I got the impression it was because she's having trouble with this, right?
Right.
This is the thing. It's the body trying to assert control. It's a survival instinct, as in the personality is there. It's watching what's going on, and it's trying to break through. And she's slowly wearing down with each leap that she makes into another body. This is the impression I got of it.
See, I didn't see the wearing down at all. I just saw it as she wasn't able to.
It's because we're not seeing every single one that she's ever done.
No.
Because Jennifer Jason Leigh says to her, "You're my best operative, my best agent." So she's obviously done more of these, but it's slowly breaking her down. And Jennifer Jason Leigh does say that she doesn't do that anymore because she started to burn out.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you see it in the next one as well. When she tries to take herself out of the picture, she tries to break the link. She can't do it because the personality of the guy is breaking through, right?
Yeah.
The host is really trying to stop her from executing herself.
Yeah,
So,
asserting control.
Yeah, I also get the impression that whole thing of shooting oneself in the brain is to destroy the link anyway. I know it disintegrates, but as they say, the longer they stay in there, the worse they start becoming after a certain time. So I'm guessing that's why they have to shoot themselves.
Yeah.
Break that so they can get out. Because they do say something like that. Oh, and this time when you come out, do you mind blowing, make sure you pull the trigger this time?
See, that's the thing. We didn't see her do it at all, did we?
No.
And
I
so
blocked.
there was no decline in what she was going through. There was no journey in what she was going through, really, in that process.
It's the whole thing of the flashbacks and everything else that she keeps seeing. She starts having hallucinations as well while she's in the bodies.
Yeah.
It's like that thing she picks up that moves, and then she looks at it and it's gone. That little white dot,
Yes.
things like that.
Artifact.
And also, and also the what's it? She keeps having. When she's out of it, she was it before she went into the next one? She actually kept having flashes to
stabbing the guy in the neck.
Yeah, she'd see the stab wound in other people.
Yeah.
So the reality or the actual memories were starting to intrude on real life. So her psyche was really affected by it.
Yeah, I mean the other thing that the self blowing yourself away. I always took, and Jim, feel free to jump in on this one as well, because I'm wondering whether or not I'm getting the wrong end of the stick. But I always thought part of it was because the construction of the assassination had to look like someone had gone mad and then taken their own life.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
So
Yeah, it could
that
be
was
that as well.
So that whole thing had to happen.
Oh, what did the guy say about doing that? It's somebody explained it actually in the film about some sort of catharsis, some sort of what is it? It's for the terrible act that you do is you take yourself out of the picture to kind and it's that sort of you've paid
like an
for
absolution, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it, like that. I'm pretty sure somebody said that.
Yeah, it's a way of cleansing your guilt as well. Jim, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Just mulling it over as a.
No, it's okay.
I thought the shooting was that kind of definitely severing the link, so she gets out clean and in one go, but also it destroys the evidence of the implant as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Go on, carry on.
They did say it disintegrates after a few days.
Yeah. The Tony says, "I know it does disintegrate, but just pull the trigger next time or something."
Yeah.
That is kind of important.
The other thing with blowing your own brains out was the whole thing was it was the absolution thing. It was removing yourself from the guilt.
Yes.
Of the act of the thing that you'd done. So it to sort of jump to the end, to skip to the end, the whole point is that after she's effectively died on this job and removed and everything that she ever loved has been removed,
that's why there's no guilt there.
There's no longer any guilt.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And then
the thing is, when the movie starts and you have the assassination, she comes out and she has like that debriefing.
Yeah.
You have the impression that this is a test to make sure she's all back and she's okay.
Yeah.
When you get to the end, you realise it's not that at all. It's recalibration. It's how far along they are to getting her to be the perfect assassin.
Did you notice something about the first time she did it compared to the very last time?
Go on.
The one small difference.
Go on.
Well, when she spoke about the butterfly in the case, she went about, I killed it and I felt terrible. I felt really guilty about it. And then when they asked her just before the credits roll, she goes, "Yeah, that was a butterfly I killed and put in a cabinet."
Yeah.
And that was it. Yeah. There's just nothing after that. It's just blank.
Yeah. Yeah, because
that's it. I think the whole job we see, it's not an important mission. It's a tech test. They're refining her and refining her. It doesn't really matter Sean Bean didn't die. What matters is it puts her into a setup where she will kill her husband and son and destroy that last bit of humanity.
Yeah. Yeah, because it is just, it is that whole thing of, because that's one of the things Jennifer Jason Leigh right at the very start says in the debrief, when there's a sort of, when Voss implies that she's been to see her ex-husband and her child, It's like, yo, you can't have emotional connections.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're too dangerous. So the whole point is that they want you to be amoral and completely blank. And yeah, I see that as the completion of the test, really, the whole thing. But
Did you
go on.
in that very last scene where
Mm.
the husband is knelt down,
Yeah.
and she comes in and goes, "Go on then, do it," and then she gets his hand or her hand, and then they fire the gun. Did you notice the change at the end?
Go on.
Just before she killed the child, killed the child. It went to her. She was in full control, and she shot her own son.
Mm.
Now I have to ask: did she know it was Jennifer Jason Leigh in there, or was this an actual act of I'm finally going to be free? I'm just going to blow him away. That was it. It was the final breaking of her humanity completely.
I don't think she knew that Jennifer Jason Leigh was in that child.
I don't know. There was something about the way the child stood there smiling at her in the bullet hole right through the stomach.
Yeah.
And it's like, did she twig? I mean, you might be right, Owen. She might not have twigged it at all, because I can't remember whether there was surprise on her face when she saw Jennifer Jason Leigh laying next to her.
I forgot the kid stood for a while as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she fucking just shot part of its skull away. You know, it's just, man, that was brutal.
So now all of this makes more sense to me. This brings the film up a little bit for me, so that's good. That's good.
I think you would have got it if you'd watched it a second time. Because you know what it's like. I've had this with films in the past. It's taken me a second viewing to actually really enjoy them. I say that with Mad Max Fury Road. Fucking hated that film first time I saw it. Saw it a second time. Loved it to death.
Yeah.
Right? So you probably would have got all of this shit. You would have seen this. Your brain would have picked up on stuff it didn't pick up on last time, and you would have been like, I fucking get it now.
Darren. Shh. What? He's making us sound smarter than we are.
Is he?
Shush. Yeah, because
we'll take credit for that. Well, it's all right.
Yeah. He's saying he didn't understand. He didn't. He's getting the movie now that we've told him about it.
It's okay. We understand your poor working class brain can't work stuff like this out. So we're here to help.
No, I see. I got the majority of that. It just felt like there was no development. Okay, normally in a film, it plays to the lowest common denominator of the audience, and so they go, this person is on a test, and they prove they have a test subject moment where they show you how well they're doing. So really, in any other movie, Voss would have exited correctly, and then you would have seen the decline from that, and her mental capacity fading, and the strength of her fighting back on the body diminishing. But it doesn't do that. This film is clever that it has it there, but you just don't realize it until you've seen the whole film, that you can go back on that first moment and go, oh yeah, I get it. And she did the same act on the police as they came in the building as she did with her kid.
Yeah.
To get herself killed.
I do believe one of those coppers that shot her down was actually a plant as well. Because he ends up shooting her in the face as she's laying there on the floor. Right? Normally policemen don't do that. If you're still alive after you've been shot, they'll arrest you. They don't just come up and fucking pop a cap in your dome.
To help her exit.
Yeah, exactly. Like definitely. The other guy was
Eddie.
A plant. The one, Eddie, right, was a plant. So was this policeman. It was a backup plan.
Yeah. I mean, she's unaware there are these plants around her until Eddie reveals himself.
Yeah, it was when Eddie revealed himself.
As you go on, you begin to realise that she's been screwed with. And everything she thinks she remembers isn't necessarily true.
Yeah.
It's what they've recalibrated her memory to be like after every jump.
Can I just ask about the recalibration process? Does anybody think that, like a drug, she wasn't actually sticking to the frequency they told her to go? And it seemed as if it was like every hit that she did of this lessened for her. So she was becoming more used to it. So it looked like she was actually turning the intensity up past what they originally kind of said to her to do, 2.7, 8.5, and she's turned it right up to 900.
Yeah, I think that's part of one of the subplots that you don't get kind of explained, but it's there in front of you, that she spent so long doing these things in other people's bodies that she doesn't know how to react, and she feels like I'm projecting here. There's nothing explicitly said.
No, I think you're right though, mate, because you see that when she's practicing before she goes home.
Yeah.
She's practicing the different voices. Like some children practice upset faces in front of a mirror.
Yeah,
that's what she was doing. She's trying to relearn it.
Yeah, and it was that whole thing of, it's almost like she doesn't know what's genuine emotion anymore, and what's fakery. She before she goes into the body of someone else, she spends days, weeks, I don't know, months. It never really gives you a timescale, studying the person and trying to get their mannerisms.
Yeah, that's a problem I think I had. It just felt like it was a bit too quick.
Yeah, there isn't any passing of time, or at least none conventional, that you can really sort of understand and make the whole thing make a bit more sense. But for me, the whole thing is that it's about someone who's emotionally distant, and she doesn't really feel much for a son. She doesn't really feel much for her ex-husband. She's going through the motions of things like making love to him on the bed. But at no point at any of it is she actually engaged. And she's almost the ultimate blank slate, that she can just fake these things. So I guess I'm asking is this film really about assassins, or is it about emotional distance and, various psychological traumas and psychological issues that leave people withdrawn and isolated and lonely and, withdrawn? Is that really what the film's about?
Yeah.
Because she only ever seems to be kind of engaged when she's either faking being her or faking being someone else.
Yeah, she was kind of a husk, really, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Didn't really know
Yeah.
what emotions she was going through or anything like that. I think she was projecting a lot because you saw her practicing before she went into her son and ex-husband's house.
Mm.
Just that, oh, hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? And, it's just, as you said, Darry, it's like a kid practicing. But you don't really see her for her. She is just a emotionless, and I suppose that's what the tests are, to try and create an emotionless killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I guess the other question is the whole film, I mean, what I'm trying to question is, what is the film actually about? Because you could just say, oh, it's about assassins who jump into bodies, but there's so much other stuff going on around it. Is it about gender dysmorphia? Because, she seems to be perfectly happy being a female jumping into a male's body, bonking away. And, the first thing she does, checks out junk, goes,
We all
checks
would.
Yeah, well, obviously, but it's just, but what I'm trying to say is that one of the themes? Is it about, is it about the invasion of your privacy? I mean, the fact that someone who's looking at you could actually be someone else, and then you see that their job is basically going through people's webcams to pick out curtains. You know, for a brochure. he's like there you are, knobbing away in a hotel room. The webcam on your phone suddenly turns on, and it's like, oh my god, they're actually spying on you, but they're not really spying on you. They're spying on my curtains so that so that I've got something new for my fucking brochure.
A mate says, I always masturbate in front of my camera.
So it knows what brand of dildo I like.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Is that, you know, is that part of the themes of the whole film? Is that it's about invasion of privacy. It's about how we get comfortable with it. Yeah,
I think it's probably a few things, but yeah, invasion of privacy. The taking of information, personal information, without permission. It's like, I mean, the whole act of them jumping into these other bodies is very sort of like, you know, it's very invasive. It's very...
Well, it's non-consensual, isn't it? They're kind of... These people are shanghaied and have no idea it's happened.
No.
And then find themselves a passenger in their own life.
Which could be a metaphor for us carrying around phones that tell, you know, basically spy on every single aspect of our lives as it is.
Yeah, I think the assassination side of things is just a conduit for all these other subjects, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, I think the common thread is probably identity. So there's a broad umbrella sort of theme of kind of, you know, what makes up your identity. Is it your choice of curtains? Is it your choice of hotel for illicit knobbing? Is it your sexuality? Is it your personal data? Is it your memories?
Yeah.
And how far are you if you got put into another body as a different gender? Are you still you, or are you different?
Yeah.
There's all these sort of questions, and it's kind of, they're looking for someone who will be ultimately, you know, malleable and can actually do that without losing the plot.
When you think about it, there's a lot of remote viewing going on in that film, not with just that company, but with the assassins themselves, who are the ultimate remote viewers.
Yeah. And the people looking through what's going on through Voss as well. Because even though Voss is in someone's head controlling them, someone is in there with them, talking to them through the conduit in the top of their head. So it's like, who's, you know, someone spying on someone who's actually inside someone else's body, spying on someone else. It's like,
it's about management, really. That's all it is. Micromanagement.
Well, I mean, I was going to say, because I mean, the other thing it comes down to is, it's like, is this also a kind of parable on free will? Is this a film that says, you know, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you're being manipulated somehow, whether it's an assassin in your own head, or whether or not it's, you know, the agency running the assassin in your head, or whether or not it's, you know, like I say, a company that sells curtains by staring through your webcam. But you know what I mean? It's just like,
well,
who's controlling who?
They must be doing that, because wasn't there a shot of old Facebook boy with like a sticker over his webcam? Do you remember that at all?
Yes.
There was a photo of who's the Facebook guy? I forget his name. It's gone out of my head.
Lizard Xanax 47 or Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, there was a photo of him with his laptop, and he had a sticker over his webcam, and the question was, so he doesn't want to be spied on, does he? No, I see.
No.
That means maybe his website is spying on you, even though your webcam isn't turned on.
Well, there is actually a setting in Facebook that says track you on other sites after you have left Facebook. So yeah,
Mm.
you know, it is just following you around. So just like an assassin in your head, your computer or Facebook is on your computer looking at what you're doing, even though Facebook is shut.
Yeah.
So there you go. But yeah. Anyway, sorry. I was gonna ask, how did you guys find all the arty metaphor, flashback, dream sequency stuff? Because I know sometimes that can be a bit heavy for some people.
Mm.
How did you find that? And what did you think it meant half the time?
Well, I think that he did a very good job because it wasn't kind of like there was proper symbolism. It's like when she first jumps into the body and you have the melting wax faces.
Yeah.
I thought that was a very good symbolic way of showing like her sort of leaving her body.
Yeah.
And then entering him. I thought it was a really just artistic, interesting visuals. And I found all this stuff, it does mean something. It's not just, we need a crazy bit.
Yeah.
He's a very meticulous Brandon Cronenberg. All the details matter. And that's something in all his films. It's all about little details. It's all thought through. I mean, I know he has a background kind of in painting and music as well. And so it's kind of everything is thought down to, a very fine level. And I thought, again, the visual thing was just very striking. And he's very good at choosing the right music and mood. So we watched... I hadn't seen any Brandon Cronenberg for for bizarre reasons. I was aware of him and meant to get round to it. And then we watched Infinity Pool. Then we watched Antiviral. Then we watched this. So I've done the set now, apart from the short films.
Nice.
But it's kind of each one, though, is kind of... he has a knack. He kind of, even down to the kind of sets and the sort of buildings for different parts of the story, it all chimes. I mean, there's a thing in this. You have the little cross in the eye.
Yes.
And you see that cross appearing in various shots in the different locations.
Yeah.
And that's like a visual motif that keeps getting repeated. And it's kind of, it's really clever stuff. You know what I mean? It's all arranged on a theme and it all complements each other rather than just being sort of indulgent. Oh, here's some mad stuff. They'll think this is arty. I'll get away with this. I'll get away with padding a 20-minute script out.
Yeah. In fact, just before she shoots Ira, the kid, he's got a cross on his cheek.
Yes,
underneath his eye as well. So visually, you should already be primed for the fact that he's not really him. But obviously everything else is kicking off, so you're not really paying attention at that point.
You know what? Where those dream sequences were concerned.
Yeah,
I thought there was one bit that had one of the best special effects in that film. I thought.
I think I know what you're going to say, but yeah, go on.
It's the bit where you see the guy whose body she's supposed to be in is on top of her, strangling her, and then he puts his hands up to the temples of her head, and you see her suffering, and all of a sudden her face just caves in.
Yes,
and it's such a quick switch.
Yeah,
it's just so well done.
Yeah,
and then it's the way it really well sort of like flips the script, and suddenly he's experiencing her memories by putting the face on.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. The symbolism of
oh man, yeah, everything. So this is where he gets to learn about the husband, of course.
Yeah, the symbolism of him crushing her down and basically wearing her like a mask. So it's like, it's a fantastic symbol. It's really, really well done, and it is a shocker, isn't it? It's something.
Oh, it is. Oh, Jesus.
Well, there's a moment before that when he rips her complete face off, where I think it's that monster in The Thing where you have the Two-Face.
Yes.
There is that moment where you have the two faces and they're kind of stuck together and they're pulling apart, and you can see them trying to extrapolate from each other. It's
oh yes,
it's that cheesy Pizza Hut bit.
the stringy cheese ring.
Yeah. But
Nice.
that's the development of it, though. You
Mm.
have that, and then that develops into him ripping her face off and then living through her world, which is... I loved all the little flashbacks and all the little deep dives into what's actually going on inside the body, the vessel that's actually holding all of this in.
Yeah.
I thought that worked really, really well.
Yeah,
And I didn't tire of it either.
Yeah, especially the bit when she's being reset by Eddie, and then the light keeps going out, and then all of a sudden you see Tate coming into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Like the light goes off and then he's there, and then the light goes off and he's a bit closer, and the light goes off and he's a bit closer still, and it's like, oh, that's quite effective.
It reminded me of, what was that film we watched a little while ago where they swapped all the bodies?
Oh, what's on the inside?
Yeah, and they were using the different colours for when you're inside a body and outside a body.
Yes.
It had that very similar texture to it.
Yeah. Yeah, everything goes red and orange when you're looking inside their head.
But yeah. I don't like to say it, but I don't think I liked the guy playing the Colin Tate person though.
Right.
I don't know what it was. It just didn't work for me. I wanted to see more of Voss than anything.
Yeah.
And I would have been happy to see her walking around in his clothes, maybe with the light change so you know that that's on the inside, but
yeah,
the actual actor, I don't know, it just didn't quite work for me.
Yeah. Again, it's kind of hard because he's kind of a bit of a empty vessel as well. We don't really get to see him outside of her observing him.
No.
And so it's a bit hard to really get a grip on what he is. And then when you do see him up close, really it's Voss projecting through him.
Yeah. I suppose, yeah.
So you really don't get a sense of that. The only thing you do get is that he obviously suffers from depression because his girlfriend mentions that, and that he hates his job because of course he does, and he hates the father-in-law, Sean Bean or Sean Bone, and yeah, beyond that, you really don't get much else apart from he's having some sort of polyamorous hookup with a work colleague, and that's about it, really.
Yeah.
The only thing I thought was interesting was when Voss tries to emulate being loving and interested and curious about the girl's day, the girlfriend's day. She immediately realizes something's up. And I think that's kind of a telling moment that when Voss through Tate tries to show genuine emotion and genuine concern and being interested, that at that point the girlfriend becomes suspicious. It's like, it's like that kind of sums up the entire world as it is. Everyone's emotionally distant and just insulated and selfish.
Mm-hmm.
And the minute you sort of start to show any kind of outward kind of concern for someone, or just empathy, they're like, "What's wrong with you? What's going on with you? What the fuck's happening there?" So, which I think is quite interesting because that's a very telling kind of moment that you kind of go, "Oh, okay." So if Voss has just been emotionally distant and just stomped around the house being grumpy, or just ignoring her entirely, chances are she wouldn't have been detected nearly as quickly.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. Can we just get to the poker face? I mean, the whole plot with the Sean Bean thing. What is it firstly, how much of it did you actually watch, and how much of it did you put your hands over your eyes, especially in the tooth moment?
I watched
that was a difficult watch, the teeth.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like, oh no!
Did you say you watched it all, Dal?
I watched it all.
Oh,
Yes.
you sick individual! As soon as I
No, we were both sat here, and we were both like, "Oh, it's that." No, this is terrible, but I can't stop watching.
As soon as I heard,
Yeah,
I thought, no, fuck that, I'm out. Peace out. I can just work the rest out myself. Thanks very much. Cheers. I don't need to see. Oh my god, I'm seeing it. What about you, Elton?
I saw it all. I watched it all. I've got no real qualms with anything like that. The actual plot itself, well, it's all just a test, isn't it? So it's to see if she can infiltrate him. The reason why she doesn't just infiltrate the daughter is because you need a motive to actually kill the person and create that scene. You can't just have the daughter just killing the father for no reason whatsoever, because questions will be asked and possibly traces will be made. So I think she has to go into the boyfriend, because that is the natural progression of violence.
Yes.
Well, don't they say that he's like a bit of a deadbeat? The father doesn't like him anyway. He's got
His
he
motive.
has drug problems. He's kind of, you know what I mean. He's an outsider in the situation. He's the perfect. The whole point of this, she has to sort of fake him, sort of degenerating to make it like believable. He just snaps, and everyone will just buy that quite no questions asked.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it was both inconsequential and yet kind of important, because he also had to see. I think Sean Bean's character serves as a kind of another level of control. He represents it because the Colin character is it before Voss gets involved is essentially being downtrodden and given the worst work ever because he had the temerity to date his daughter. So it's like, yeah, fuck you. You can go and work in this thing that gives you headaches, and you can watch people knocking one out in front of a webcam just so you can work out what kind of drapes they've got on their bed sheets. It's just like,
be the stiff ones. Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Those ones. I like a fucking headboard. That sort of stiffness. Yes.
But also, go on. No, go on.
I was going to suggest a tinfoil hat theory.
Go for it.
For this. This is grabbing this out of sort of like thin air, but thinking about what we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Now, they're all about the sanctioned murder of certain individuals.
Yes.
This assassin's group. Well, what if Voss knew all along, like, that she had to off both her son and her husband, right? Now, these weren't sanctioned killings. So what if, because she really took control very easily back when she had to kill her son, I'm just wondering if maybe she made it look like she'd lost control just to get the guy in the position to do the killing for her, so that she wouldn't be blamed for it and get in trouble with the people that she actually works for. What do we think? Do we think that's a possibility?
Before I jump in, Jim, Elton, do you want to jump in?
I think this whole plot jumping into him was a scenario designed to end up with her losing of control, becoming blurred, shall we say, and her actually offing her family, because it's her handler says they're holding you back, and it's that's the link to her humanity they need to sever. And I think this whole this whole assassination run isn't another wet work job. It's refining her. It's a weapon.
Right.
So it's a weapon test, not a mission.
So you
And-
don't think she let it happen?
No, I think she probably knew it was inevitable and coming, but she had to be pushed to it. And it's that thing of she shoots her son from sheer self-preservation, and that brings out the killer instinct that's been missing when she's having trouble, exiting missions before. And that's it just blows away that blockage, shall we say.
Yeah.
But I actually think this was all kind of a setup. I wouldn't be surprised that she hadn't blacked out and killed Eddie, and the other wet work agents had come and whacked him.
Right.
And set that up.
See, I saw the waking up and finding Eddie dead on the bed, or dead in the bedroom, was Tate losing his fucking marbles and taking control. But as far as the tinfoil hat of her wanting this to happen, there is a certain, shall we say, feeling, and I don't know if you guys agree with me on this. There's a certain feeling that she feels guilty about the family.
Yeah.
That she's going to visit them, and she feels guilty about that. But she also feels guilty about leaving them. But she also feels guilty about telling, what's her name? I was going to call her Gromit, but was
Gromit?
What was the Jennifer Jason Leigh character? She was given some mad
Girder.
name. Girder, that's it. Girder, yeah, made from girders. Yeah. So Gromit.
Charges
whole
1%.
Almost charging 2%. No, but I there was a lot of guilt associated with the family, both leaving them, spending time away from them, not coming back to them, spending too much time with them. Everything was guilt. And so, yes, they were the last connection to humanity. And
if you get rid of her and the guilt, you get rid of all the other guilt she was carrying.
Exactly. And the other thing was also that she had no qualms about jumping into the next job, even though she was feeling, shall we say, a little discombobulated from the last job where she was seeing like blood leaking out of the husband's neck and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think there is a certain level of freedom by getting rid of the ex-family and, Gerda, Gromit, Gerard the Gnome, whatever you want to call her. Giving her that opportunity by being in Ira's body and allowing Voss to kill him. I don't know what that's saying though, apart from the fact that, it's she's finally become like everyone else, which is essentially emotionally distant and not guilty about anyone and not having any connection and isolated. Because that's the one of the big key things coming through the whole film is that, it's all about isolation and, control and, getting rid of your family and getting rid of the chains that hold you back from being what you want to be.
The family is the last link to normality. The last link to being sane. You remove that family, you remove all the guilt of not being there, you remove all the worry of the family as well. You remove absolutely everything, and then you are on your own, and you are free to do what you want. You're not tied to anyone else.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, is there some, I don't want to get too deep into this because I'm not qualified to answer the question, but does that tie in slightly to the possible thing about gender dysmorphia, which I think is also a theme in this film? You know, that you don't feel right in your body, that you don't feel like people understand you. You want to be free of those people. I'm not trying to say that just because you're trans or whatever, you know, that you want to kill your family. I'm not playing that playbook. I'm just saying that symbolically doing your own thing and just going off and being free and being who you want to be is that part of it?
I think I would say sort of broadly part of it, not necessarily linked to sort of gender roles. I think it's broader than that. Is that you can say you are defined by your own memories of what you are, but also socially you are defined by people's memories, other people's memories of who you are.
Yeah.
And hence, if you know, if you eliminate everyone who knows you in whatever way, you know, you are free to self-define to redefine yourself however you like without anyone saying, well, that's not really you.
Yeah.
Or you can't do that. I mean, I know there's kind of, in psychology, there's this idea of sort of symbolically killing your parents that goes back to Freud. But the idea that you have to, the transition to adulthood, you have to symbolically kill your parents to be free of their influence to stop being a child.
Yeah.
Which is Freudianism and probably largely bollocks. There's a lot of Freudianism, but there is something to it, I think. And it is kind of, again, it's kind of how people, you know, you have your ideas of who are you, but equally, if you ask people around you, family and friends, to describe you, you probably, most people probably wouldn't be terribly happy with the description.
No.
You'd be like, no, you missed that. You don't know me that well, and all of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think there's that kind of, once she completely becomes, for want of a better word, a free agent by killing her family. And I think there is something to Darren's theory that I think she, on some level, knows she's already crossed lines. She can't go back to that life. And, you know, it is mentioned, they have a conversation with her saying they are holding you back. And given what they're doing, basically, it must have crossed her mind that sooner or later they have to go permanently in one way or another.
Yeah. I mean, because the other thing I was going to say was there is a certain level of, they are holding her back, but also she relishes the violence that comes with the job. It's an emotional catharsis thing for her that she actually enjoys. I mean, because that's a question that's asked very early on. And in fact, I remember asking myself it when I watched the film the first time. If she's got a gun, why the fuck did she stab that geezer to death about 1 million times? And then later on, when you know, Colin goes batshit with a cleaver on the husband, he does it in exactly the same way as the guy at the start. So is that really Colin in control, or is that Voss?
Amalgamation of both, really.
Yeah. Well, I guess Schultz, really, possibly. But it is kind of, because she says about the first job, said, why didn't you use a gun? She said, well, I felt a knife would be more in character.
Yeah.
But then, equally, she has a gun to take out Sean Bean, but no, decides to go Cluedo on us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will use the poker in the teeth in the dining room.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a similar thing, and she does enjoy that.
Yeah.
Quite clearly. And it's one of those ambiguities, because I was struck by the similarity when the husband died. Going, well, is that actually him or is that actually her? Because he seems to fucking enjoy the really getting your hands dirty. Just pulling a trigger isn't enough for her.
Yeah. And also the symbolism of when Colin's finally shot, Colin/Voss is finally shot, and then she shoots Ira, the kid, and then the camera pulls out, and I had to stop and rewind it. But when the camera pulls out, they're both sitting in a pool of blood, yeah? they make the butterfly, the red monarch butterfly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, there it is again, but now we're free of guilt. We did it, and we're free of guilt because here's the butterfly all over again. And it was probably the most heavy-handed of all the symbolism. Here it was, finally, here's the monarch butterfly all over again. It's dead, but it's also showing, death of guilt by killing the kid without any concern for it.
You also have the symbolism of the blood touching each other, heading towards each other, as if you've got like the Gerda side of things and the Voss side of things, and then once they join, that's it. They are one now. They are part of the program.
Yep, and she is the same as Gerda insofar as she is just an emotionless machine that basically gets their kicks from essentially hijacking other people's experiences.
I don't know how many times it happened. It may have just been once, but there was a moment where the Jennifer Jason Leigh Gerda character was talking to Voss and doing like the debrief, and she's going through all the, is this your bit? Okay, yeah, that's great. You've scored this, this, and this, and then she washes her hands, almost as if like, that's it. I'm free. I'm cleansed. And I have nothing more to do with this. We are free. There's no fingerprints or anything. I've washed my hands of this situation.
Okay. Interesting. Right. Okay. I'm kind of acutely aware we could just dive down endless rabbit holes with this film. Does anybody have anything they want to specifically bring up? Because I don't want to go too round around the houses with it, because I think part of the joy of this film is that it has so many layers of meaning on top of meaning that you can almost take away from it what you bring to it or how you interpret it. So like with Darren, you saying like, she wanted it all to happen. She or like I say, me seeing like Andrea Riseborough with a willy going, oh yeah, that's what it's all about. It's all about it's all about gender dysmorphia. It's about,
Well, the last thing I'll say about it is I don't think that mission was meant to end up at her house, her husband's house with the kid.
No.
I don't think that was the way it was meant to be. I think that was the end game, and removing the family would have been the final piece in sending her over to be like the perfect assassin. But I don't think it was meant to happen at that moment. Yeah.
I would also just like to add the fact that once the whole project the mission goes completely Pete Tong, the assassin in the bedroom, the machine room, goes, we have to pull her out. And then, she's already suffered some brain damage. And you see Gerda go, right, cool, leave her in. It's like that brain damage was planned and even anticipated. And that was kind of like, so that's it's like surgery. It's like, it's almost like some kind of
lobotomy.
Yeah, like a lobotomy, exactly. So it was interesting to see that bit, and you go, oh, okay, so they know that there's going to be brain damage, and they could pull her out at any time, but they won't. It's like, is that because the mission is too important, or is it because actually it doesn't matter anymore? Because the mission's over and done with. Sean Bean's fucked up beyond all belief. He's been poked in the mouth more times than. No, I won't finish that sentence. But anyway, so he's out the picture. So the mission's done. So why won't Gerda pull out Voss?
Because you need to leave no trace.
You need to destroy the thing in the brain, and she can't do it, which is why she can't get pulled out. She has to die.
But we already know that there's a collaborator in Eddie in the building
Yeah.
And we also know now that Gerda and the organization can pull Voss out at any time.
Can they?
Yeah, because that's what she says. She says she's suffering. She's been in there too long. She's gonna get brain damage. We got to pull her out. And Gerda says, "No, leave her in." Actually says that, and that's after the mission's already gone south, and Sean Bean's been pokered, and what's it? Colin stabbed the little thing in the top of his head.
Because I think Colin would know there's too many links. Yes, he would be, arrested or whatever it was for the crimes that he'd committed.
He'd be shot in the face by a taken over policeman, as we saw at the very beginning of the film. Wouldn't he? Wouldn't you just do that if you want to tie all the loose ends up?
Yeah, but then you're relying on not the assassin to do anything. You're just relying on your minions that follow the assassin around, and you don't always want to do that.
No, but the assassin has done their job, and you're actually causing them brain damage. So you've been given the option to pull them out. So it's not like it's something that hasn't been done before.
Oh, I think this is more. Yeah, let her get a little bit of brain damage. It's like burning a chip in a computer.
Yeah.
So when there's certain chips that when you energize them with electricity, they burn to that computer, and you cannot do anything without replacing that chip. It's linked to that computer. And so I think that's what they're trying to do with her. They're trying to just nibble around the edges and take a little bit of her soul away.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, I mean, anyway, like I say, it's a fascinating little film and very cool, and lots of details that we can chew on for hours on end.
Can I just say one other thing, Lee?
Yes,
this was your choice, wasn't it?
My choice? No, it was Elton's choice.
Elton, thanks for choosing this one, mate. This was a meaty film, and I love it when we get stuff like this, and we're all sat around, literally, even with comedies that we get, the really kind of deep ones, and we end up in a really serious conversation. This is the kind of episode that I really love, where we're sitting here and we've all got all different ideas on the table because it's so ambiguous.
Yeah.
It's just great, you know? And as you saw yourself, you've started understanding the film a bit more. Now we've all just sat around and gone, well, I think this, and the other that, and I also think this.
Yeah.
It's great. It's fantastic. So well done on choosing this one, mate. This is really, really good food for thought.
Nice.
Brilliant.
There you go. Look at that.
Cool.
Positive. We had that on network as well, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Positive run all the way. Look at this. So there you go. Well, so ladies and gentlemen, we'll leave it there. If you want to continue the conversation on, by all means, send in feedback. You know the routes: Facebook, which is facebook.com/group/the Black Dog Podcast. Email feedback@blackdogpodcast.com, or hit me up on Blue Sky, which is cartoonbeardy.bsky.social. Just jump on the DMs; they are open, madam. So we've had two mighty meaty entries. Jim,
yes,
Sharktopus. Let's do it. No, go on.
Fast and Furious, Tokyo Drift.
Fast and Furious X, Fast in Space. Yep. Go on in, Jim. So, what have you picked for us, sir?
Okay. I did weigh up various things. So kind of like, all right, how do you follow Possessor?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, let's go back to a creative team. We've done some of their films before,
right?
And there's quite a few we've not done yet.
Okay.
A lot of them aren't readily available on streaming. A lot without coughing up dough, but one is, and it is Synchronic.
Aha!
Oh, wicked!
Synchronic.
Yep. Yes. Okie dokie.
which
And
is on
that...
Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Or it's on Paramount Plus, if you have that bag of old bollocks.
Paramount Plus. Perch, as we call it. Okay. Synchronic.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. So I guess the question is to everyone, have you seen this before? Have you seen this before, Jim?
I have, yes. Yeah.
Nice. Okie dokie.
I recently learned something interesting about it, which I'm intrigued. Made me think, I want to go back to that now.
Oh,
there is apparently a tie that goes back to recurring and endless in Synchronic.
Right. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I am really going to bring the whole mood down when I pick Amazon Women on the Moon, aren't I? Really am. Cool. Elton, have you seen Synchronic?
No, I haven't, but I do like what they've produced in the other movies. So yeah.
Okay. Darren, have you seen Synchronic?
Seen it? I don't even think I've heard of it, if I got to be honest.
Right. Okie dokie.
Oh, it's going to be fun next week.
Well, I'm not going to look up a synopsis.
No, don't look up a synopsis.
No.
Just know that it was done by the same people who did The Endless, which we saw a while back. You know, the one with the cult with the
Indeed.
So you should know where we're kind of heading.
Yep. Head fuckery territory, dead ahead.
Head fuckery territory, dead straight ahead. Yes, indeed. I have seen this. Interestingly, it came out in 2019, but I think it came into streaming in 2020. So I saw this around the same time as Possessor, funny enough. So I have seen this. I am really interested in seeing it again because, like Possessor, I saw it once and I thought, that's good. That's interesting. I need to see it with other people. And because I don't know, I'll watch it again on my own because I'll just be sitting there with the same ideas all over again. So I'm really interested to watch this again and see what you guys think of it at the same time. So there you go. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, we will be watching Synchronic, which is available on Amazon Prime. Starring Anthony Mackie and who's the other one? Jamie Dornan. Yes. And we will say no more than that. If you have seen it, don't do the thing of going on the Facebook group and saying, I quite like this, enter spoiler here, because it is one of those films always good to go in blind. So, you know,
if you've got anything to say, just put up a picture of a fork instead.
Yeah, and put My Darling Clementine on it. In fact, there you go. We've already set the trend. That's the phrase that pays. My Darling Clementine. Fork! There you go. That's the phrase that pays this week. That's done it. So, right, before we go, let's find out what's happening in everyone else's podcasts. And over at Hypnagoria Towers, Jim, what's going on with you, sir?
I've been this week continuing my series on Roger Corman, Edgar Allan Poe films. So I'm looking at his version of The Raven and Tales of Terror. And this weekend on my reading show, I've got a little story by me.
Nice. Ooh. Very cool. And just on the Edgar Allan Poe thing, this is not endorsed. This is just me just saying it. A friend of mine who I used to work with at Cartoon, called Norm Connew, is actually doing a Kickstarter for a comic based on Edgar Allan Poe. And I actually shared a link to it on my Blue Sky page. Might be worth having a little look at it, Jim. Not necessarily buying it. I'm just saying you might find it interesting.
I will check that out.
And yes, maybe I'll speak to Norm and see if you can get him on the Hypnagoria. But yes. Anyway, so yes, just thought of that in passing. Elton, what's happening in Rogue 2 land?
Talking about cars going round in circles and recording episodes for the Band of Brothers thing that we're doing as well. So I forget which one I think Battle of River Plate, I think we've just recorded. I think it was. I can't remember. It'll be out later on anyway. So,
right. I was going to say your podcast on World War II is actually lasting longer than World War II.
Well, it started off as the Band of Brothers, and we was like, should we add some more onto this? And we keep adding more onto it. So
no, it's cool. It is cool, man. It's good. Excellent. Right. Brilliant. Right, and that's over at rogue2media.com.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Brilliant. Darren, have you got anything to shill or generally sell apart from your bottom?
No, I haven't. Not at all.
You lie.
All right, maybe I do.
Cool. Brilliant. Well, as ever, you can find me, like I say, on Blue Sky. I've said the link enough times now. Just posting up random sketches and scribbles. So, if you fancy looking over there. I don't post much on Facebook anymore. I do now and again, but not a lot. Mainly in the Black Dog Facebook group, to be perfectly honest. So you can find me there. And that's it, really. So, thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Elton.
No problem.
And thank you again all for listening, and we shall see you all next week.
Oh,
go on.
Phrase that pays.
I just said it.
Did you? Sorry.
Yeah, my darling Clementine. Falk.
Oh, right. Okay, fine.
You fell asleep again, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I got distracted by a shiny piece of paper. I do have the mind of a kitten. I hope you know this.
Did Ree come in with a laser pointer and you just chased it around the room a bit?
Yep, that's it. She does it for a laugh every once in a while. It's not good.
I'm so very easily distracted.
It's like
So if you're found dead in the middle of the M1, we'll know why, because she literally just laser pointed you into the central reservation.
Yep, tied it to the back of a car. Let's go for a long drive down the M25, Darren.
Last scene, running into oncoming traffic.
Yep, that insurance policy seems to be maturing quite nicely.
Nice. Brilliant. Okay, well, now that we've said the phrase that pays again, thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Elton.
No problem.
And thank you all again for listening, ladies and gentlemen.
The phrase that pays.
Fuck off. Let me take a poker face to your teeth. Motherfucker. Right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
Oh, the phrase that pays.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me down the road. It's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll want to settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on.
I already came for a kebab.